Good afternoon. This is Ruth L Snyder from RLS Creativity and the host of Entrepreneurs Right. And I'm happy to have RebeccaVijay with me. Today, we are on opposite ends of the world. I'm in Canada and Rebecca is joining us from India. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you so much, Ruth. It's so great to be here.
So I'm looking forward to learning more about you. We've chatted a little bit, but I don't know much. So tell us about your early years.
Basically, I've been in communications and publishing industry since the early 2000s. And I've worked with Oxford University Press for almost 8 years. In 2014, I took a break from corporate life when my younger son was born. And after a few years, I wanted to make a difference. I was exploring what I can do. And then I got introduced to blogging and then self-publishing. And so that's how my publishing journey has been.
Okay. So when did you write your first book?
I wrote my first book, My Angel in Heaven, in 2017. And it was about my journey through the death of my firstborn twin son, who was 3 days old at that time. And how I found comfort in God. So that was the book, and it became a #1 bestseller on Amazon in US, UK, India, Australia, across multiple categories. And it helped a lot of bereaved parents find some peace and some hope.
Yes, it's amazing how God uses some of our deepest pain to open up doors for us that would never be open otherwise.
It took me about 8 years to write that.
I can imagine. It, in a way, it was probably therapeutic for you, right? When you were writing it. Well, thank you for sharing your story. Yeah, one of the first things I wrote was the story of my journey through infertility and into the world of adoption and special needs. So God used pain in my life too. So what led to you helping other people publish their books?
I very strongly believe that each of us has a unique story, and only we can tell that story. So so I just wanted to help people share their personal unique story to the world, and I started out helping people to write and publish their books in that way.
Okay. So what advice do you have for someone who's just starting to write?
Basically, just be you, be brave, be vulnerable, but at the end of the day, be you. We need to own our story, share your voice, and you never know whose world you will touch, impact, or change with your message and your story.
So when people are writing, do you find that they naturally know how to write, or do you find that people often need some help learning how to communicate better?
Yes, I think people do need help. Development editing plays a big role in a lot of books, not all, but in a lot of books, because they might want to stuff everything into one section and then leave out nothing for the rest. Need to balance it out and work out on each of the sections and how the flow of the story, the flow of the book, how it should be, what will come first, what will come last. So yeah, I think that needs work with a lot of people.
Right. Do you help people with fiction books as well, or just nonfiction books?
Yes, we do help authors with fiction books as well.
Okay.
And also with developing the storyline and any plot holes and other things we do catch.
So do you have a special process that you take people through, or is it every author's journey unique?
There is a process, the overall process, which is the same, but it's unique to each of the authors because each of the books are different. Like most of the books that I have done are memoirs.
Okay.
So that is a totally different genre. And then, young adult books and the other books. So it's unique to each of the books and the audience that the book has to cater to.
Mm-hmm. You live in India. I'm sure it's different than it is in Canada, but it depends. I don't know what part of India you live in. So are you in a rural area or are you in a city? tell us a little bit about where you live and how that affects the work that you do.
Sure. So I am in New Delhi, which is the capital of India. And so here it's very different because it's like a potpourri of people from different states, different languages, different backgrounds. So you find everything in this melting pot. So it's been a very special journey, school days, college days, till now.
How many languages do you speak?
3.5.
So you speak English, obviously, and then what are the other 2.5 languages?
Then Hindi.
Okay.
And Tamil, and bit of French. So,
okay.
So kind of lost touch. I studied that in college, so that's why it's half.
Do you just read French, or do you actually speak French as well?
We used to speak during college days, but now, like 20 years, so it's been kind of
might be a little rusty.
Yeah.
The other day when we were talking, you were telling me about your current project. So can you tell our audience about your project and why you're so excited about it?
Sure. Right now, I'm putting together a book across different genres. So we have experts in the areas of finances, online business, health and wellness, mindset. It's basically a book that I'm looking at as a transformational tool, like all-in-one coaching book. So the name is Fired Up, and I hope that the book will also fire up people's imaginations, especially the readers, as to the possibilities that await them. That there are no limits. We are only limited by our imagination. And so the thought leaders, the visionaries, and the experts in the book will help provide them with the expanded vision of what all is possible and how you just need to take one step at a time. Basically, it's going to be stories, transformational breakthrough stories of those women, as well as actionable roadmap. So in each of these areas, the experts will also be giving their 5-point steps, so that the readers can take it a step ahead. And it'll for the authors, it'll be like a marketing tool, so they can use it to promote their high-end products, offers, services. So it'll be a tool for them to reach out to the world. A bit of reimagining, changing the world is what we are looking at.
So what kind of entrepreneurs are you looking for to participate in your project?
Women who have left corporate lives, successfully running, successfully established ventures, and who can, provide that kind of roadmap to the people. Financial experts, health experts, online business experts, anywhere where there is a possibility that the reader sitting at home, they can, maybe just use their phone, just use their laptop, and they can reach out to the world, maybe do coaching programs, do online courses, that kind of setup where author has been, established in the business for say 3 to 4 years, and they have, a good network and following, so they can also network and collaborate with the other co-authors.
So do you have all the participants that you need, or are you still looking for others to join you?
Yeah, I'm still looking for others to join in. We have slots open, and in fact, tomorrow we are starting the first weekly Zoom calls. So it's going to be not just the book, the chapter, it's also going to be community building with the other co-authors. It'll have author events like author speaks, greet and meets, and we have a category for VIPs. So they'll also be a part of a VIP summit. So that summit we are planning for September.
Well, thanks for sharing about that. Tell us how people can reach you, and is there a special way for them to let you know that they're interested in your current project?
Sure. So my website for that is P2PP and the numeric 2P dot RebeccaVijay, RebeccaVijay.com/F/fired up. So that'll take you to the page about the book, and it'll give you all the details about who we are looking for and the payment details, what all are included. And there's an application form, so you can fill that application, and we'll be happy to have you on board.
Are there any last thoughts that you have that you'd like to share?
Yeah, like I was mentioning, everybody has a story. So, you can just dig into whatever story you have, write it out maybe in the form of a blog post, in the form of short story, novel, anything, because there is somebody who needs to hear your story. And it encourages people to see what you have gone through so that they know that they are not alone, that, there is someone who understands them. Your story would resonate with them, and it would be really helpful for a lot of people. So when we feel that we are vulnerable and we are very, that's not a story that I want to tell, but it's actually the story that will make the most impact, and it'll make you more real and touch more lives. Do start sharing, maybe just 1 line, 2 lines, or 1,000 lines. It's up to you, but start sharing about yourself.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. And I mean, a powerful story is one that elicits emotion, right? If it makes us laugh or cry or sigh or whatever, those are the stories that actually make us pay attention and can change our lives. And so those are the kinds of stories we want to share as well. And it is hard to be vulnerable sometimes and to share that pain, but that's what builds connection, because people understand that we know what they're going through that way. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. I know that you are in India and it's early hours in the morning, so thank you for making the sacrifice to join us today, and we look forward to you interacting with people in the group and continuing to collaborate together.
Thank you so much, Ruth, for this opportunity, and I look forward to collaborating and learning from the group and also sharing in the group. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Talk to you again.
Yes, same here.